Welcome back, everybody. I know it's been kind of a minute. I was busy with a lot of school stuff, but I'm on break right now, so I can show you guys a few things about how I make bits and what unions are. So, quick tutorial. What unions are is they're like a really simple way to make holes in things without um using like some kind of external software like Blender or something like a mesh making software. So you can do it all within Studio, and you don't have to worry about any of that extra stuff, importing, exporting, learning another program. You don't have to do any of that. Very simple way to create more complex objects. So basically, what you do, or you can also cut pieces off of things. I'll show you that in a minute. So basically, what you do, you take the part that you want to be like basically the shape of the hole, and you click this little button right here that says negate, and this is going to be in the model tab. Then you're going to want to place it inside of another solid block and make sure it's like totally in, like all the way that you want it to be. Then you select both of the parts at the same time, and then you hit union, and that's going to make this lovely little hole in here. Yeah, if we separate the union, we can take out its individual parts. And I can also show you, it does not have to be totally inside of it. So you can also, if I just wanted to cut off the corner of this, I could also just put this in the corner, and then that. Select both pieces, union, and there we go, the corner is no more. So basically you can just turn this thing into a block of Swiss cheese if you really wanted to. Oh yeah, and one more thing I forgot to mention is if you're experiencing a little bit of this action where you're trying to get it to go in but it's not going in, and you can clip through the object but you can't actually get the block to go in there. One of the things that might be happening is you have your collisions on, which you want to uncheck that little box, and that will allow you to put this right through, negate it, union, and make that hole. So if that is enabled, make sure you disable it, and that will allow you to put things through each other, basically. So the main reason I wanted to show this to you guys is to show you how I make bits, which I can do without using Blender because of things like unions. So this little piece right here, I'm just going to make it into a Snapple bit, which I have a little reference photo for right here. I always try to find a reference photo for things, even if I know what they look like, just because there might be small details about them that we might not remember unless we look at the object again. The best way to make the best models is to look at reference photos and figure out what it actually looks like to a T. So I'm going to push that inside of there and make that little edge that we saw in the reference photo. Select both the pieces, union them, and now you have like a little bit of like a circle type thing going on. I think that's a little bit too deep though. I'm actually gonna pull this out very slightly because I only want a very mild edge there. Then I'm gonna make two of these and separate one of them so that I can make one of this one smaller. But I also want this one to be through this one, if that makes any sense. So I want this one to be smaller than the other one, but I also want it to be like longer so it can also be used, because you can actually use unions to unionize other parts. So I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. So I can take these two pieces, union those together. Then if I negate this piece, I can do another union with it and make a more complex whole. I actually messed up a little bit on that one. I think I want this to be a little bit shallower once again, so I'm going to pull this out and try that one more time, and hopefully that will come out a little bit better. And there you go. Now you kind of have like a half of a snaffle bit. So stuff like this, it takes a little bit of practice to get used to, but once you like do a couple of them and you practice on larger things first and then go down in size slowly, because as you get down to the smaller sizes, it can be a little bit complicated to try to do these things. But on the bigger scale, like, just practicing with these things, it can make your life way easier and you won't have to do so much modeling on other programs. Or if you were too nervous to try other programs or you don't know how to use other programs, you can remain in Roblox but still make very complex models. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys who are struggling with stuff like that. Um, and I hope you guys go off and make some really cool stuff.